we are going to start our Node.js training session. So we will start with installing Node.js. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'll just share the link for installation. So it started download automatically. Let me share the link address. Okay, sharing in the chat. Okay, along with that, we will be requiring MySQL. So there is one DigitalOcean blog that will help us. So what system you have? Windows, Ubuntu? Ubuntu, right?
Yes.
So I'll just type down install MySQL on Ubuntu. 20.4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. DigitalOcean. So MySQL is installed, right? Or you have to install it?
No,
I have installed it.
Okay.
I need to.
Okay, so we will come to database part later. Okay. So can you open that Node.js org? Okay, so here click on docs. So these docs are going to be your, helper docs for this training session. So basically no need to go online and search for anywhere else. So you can directly come here and search. Okay. If anything requires, you can refer to this docs. Okay, so what we'll do, for an intro, let's start with what is Node and like what we do using Node. So basically, Node.js is server-side scripting language, right? So usually we write APIs and cron jobs and do all backend stuff using Node.js. Node.js is single-threaded. Okay, basically, since it is based on Java, so it is JavaScript, so it is single-threaded, and the base of Node.js is Node.js event loop, which is something is like very basic foundation of Node.js. So, so what we'll do first, we will start with creating new project in Node.js. Okay. You can do along with me. Okay. So. Okay, so I make a new directory. Let's give a good name. Let's do a prototype. Okay, what we will do, we will call some API, third-party API, and try to form some object. So, do you guys know any open source third-party API?
Request response.
OMDB API, do you know? No?
Yeah.
So OMDB is Open Movie Database API. So basically what it does, so if you give any movie title, let's say Dawn, so it will give all the data regarding that. So for title, rating, runtime, genre, and all those things. Okay. So what we can do is like we can store this data in our database and fetch it using our queries and return it to the user. So that, like, let's consider this is our Hotstar or Netflix like app. So there in front end, front end people can show it as cards and all. Cards and then followed by a title and all. Okay, so we will try to do this small project like thing along with the training session. Okay. So let's start with creating a project. So let us give it a name, movie API. Okay. Movie app is also fine. So basically, whenever, okay, so in Node.js, entry point of Node.js is package.json, if you know. So package.json is a script, basically a JSON file, which tells V8 compiler that like in package.json we have a field called a main script. So it picks up the file from there. That by default it is index.js. So basically Node.js from there Node.js comes from that we need to use this particular file to start execution. So similarly, like in Java, it is public static main, and in C it is main function, right? The main point of execution, like that. Okay, so but first we need to create a package.json file, right? So to create a package.json file, we have a command called npm init. Okay, so npm is nothing but Node package manager. Okay, so along with Node, it gets installed automatically. You don't need to install it separately, unless you are using some old Node.js like 2.3 or 2x 3x version. Currently, 16.x is stable version. Yeah, okay, so npm init will run a script. It will ask some package name which you want to be, version, description. So let me type in movie database operation. Not mandatory. Entry point index.js. Okay, we will go with index.js. I prefer app.js. Test command. So let's skip this thing. We will cover test and all later. So anyways, we can anyhow we can always edit the package.json and add test commands. Okay, for testing. So for testing, like you might be using jest and all, right, on front end.
No, like in Angular we have that Cypress and all, but we haven't did that in.
Okay, okay. So in backend here we use Mocha and Jest.
Okay.
So we'll explore that as well. So for time being we are keeping it empty. So Git repo. So if you are having any Git repo, you can mention over there.
Need to mention the URL.
Yeah, correct. Keywords, author, feel free to give your name. Okay, so finally it shows you that it is going to create a package.json which looks like this. Okay, so it has a name, version, description. So main keyword has our app name, file name. So that is going to be our entry point. Okay. Okay. So apart from that, the common things that are needed in Node.js are frameworks and libraries. Okay. Usually that are not required, but since we are starting this, so Node.js is self capable of doing multiple things like creating server, routing the routes, calling the APIs, external APIs, doing the database connections without ORM. Like for MongoDB, you can do it without ORM. For MySQL, ORM is needed. Okay. So, but to make things simpler, there are n number of frameworks available. Okay, so what we'll do for this session or this training session entire, we will go with Express.js. Okay, so why? Because it is widely used.
Yes.
Express.js. So what is Express.js? So Express.js is a framework, correct, which which is responsible to handle your incoming request, then security, and basically it provides multiple widgets, multiple middlewares. Okay.
So, like, mostly we use Express to build APIs and all in Node, right?
Correct. So basically, Node has its own built-in package called HTTP.
Yeah, but that is bit hard. Right?
No, not hard. So basically, that doesn't come with all those inbuilt things which Express.js provides. So basically, for example, let's say you are sending some post request from front end. Okay, so when it comes to backend, so when it hits our endpoint, server endpoint, we need to access the payload data which you are sending, right, in post body. So to do that in inbuilt Node, so there are few complex steps. So what Express.js like framework do, they provide inbuilt method.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to access the request body, just call this method. That's it. It will internal do all the things. Okay, and make your life easy. So it's not like only Express.js is there. So there are many other. So famous ones are Express. Then yeah, and third one is React. No, Netlify. No, not Netlify. Let me see. Fastify, Express, versus. No, not Reddit. Restify, correct. Okay, third one is Restify. So basically, Netflix uses Restify. Okay, so what all are these frameworks? All these frameworks simply provide you provision of handling request, incoming request, routing, and much more. Okay, so basically, first we will install these required dependencies, and meanwhile I'll explain. Okay. So Express.js, right? We are going to make use of Express.js.
So this Restify is specifically for creating REST APIs, or it will support other stuff as well?
So all these three frameworks, I mean, most probably supports all the stuff. 99%. Basically, there are some differences that I'll tell you. Okay, so if you can see, I have opened the Express.js homepage. So here they have given the command to install Express. Okay. So what we will do, we will simply do the installation. Okay, npm install express --save. What --save does? --save indicates that save this library to my current folder. Okay, my current session only. Okay, if you want to save it globally, then you can pass -g. Okay. Okay, now our package is installed. So now let's observe our package JSON. What changes has happened? Okay. So if you can see like one more object is added, that is dependencies, right?
Yes.
Okay. So our Node app V8 engine knows like in this app there are some dependencies. Okay. And from where it will include the dependencies. So if you see the file structure, a new folder is created called node modules. Okay. So inside these node modules, all the libraries are saved. Okay. So basically, V8 compiler knows that there are some dependencies, and those dependencies it need to search inside node modules. Okay.
One more file here, package log.
Package log JSON that we will discuss later. Okay. So basically, package log JSON is created by node package module itself. Okay. So do you know any other installation module?
Yes.
Yarn is there, right?
Yarn is there.
Correct. So when you do a yarn or you uninstall, yarn.log gets created, right?
And not log.
Correct, right? When like if you do a React project or Angular as well, yarn.log gets created.
Okay.
So if you have your Angular project, just look if you are using yarn.
No. We are using.
We majorly use the
NPM. Okay, then it will
We will
be
try.
I
fun.
think, in package log JSON, it stores the current version and all details of.
So no, not only that, there are n number of things. So what we'll do instead of going into this, so I want you to explore that. Okay. So that can be a mini assignment, that why this package manager creates its own log file, and what is the purpose of those log file. Okay. So now let us open our code in editor. So generally I use Visual Code.
Yes.
Okay. So now coming to our framework. So why there are multiple frameworks? So basically, and why Netflix uses Restify. So basically the primary reason is Netflix has huge traffic, correct?
Yes.
So like per second they are getting some thousands and millions of requests. So the what we can say, Express.js can handle about 25,000 requests per second. So that is the limitation. Okay. Now, so basically, Restify can handle near about 45,000 requests per second. Okay. So yeah. So how does that help to Netflix? So basically, it can obviously handle more requests, and it saves the cost of creating more instances in cloud. Right? Okay. And the suggested one is Fastify, because that can handle near about 80,000 requests per second. And all these three framework has all the route support and all the support, middlewares and all, which we are going to explore.
85,000 requests, right?
80,000 requests approx. So what you can do, like you can, after the session, you can do this small assignment. Like go and check. Okay, so here, okay, so now we are in our project. We are having node modules, okay, and package log JSON. Okay, what was our entry point? Our entry point was app.js. So let's create that file. Unfortunately, Node doesn't create anything for you, and like create React app and Angular. Yeah, it's not like create component and it will create multiple files for you. So everything you need to do. Okay, so this is going to be our entry point, app.js. Okay, and from here, whatever you will do. Okay, so let's start with a simple thing. Hello world. Okay, how to run this? Okay, so on terminal. Okay, so we have not come to RESTful part yet. Okay, so yeah, REST APIs. So we'll try to run this. So how we usually run? So we run the file using node followed by the file name. Okay, and it will give you the output. Okay, Node.js has also has its REPL. So basically, if you type node on the command line and hit enter,
Yes, we can do whatever.
yeah, you can do same thing over here. Console hello world, or let's say assign a some value a equal to 10, correct? Then it will give value as 10. Okay, so if you want to play around with node features like JavaScript common features, so that you can play over here. Correct. Still no. Okay. Okay, but before starting anything else, the basic foundation. The basic foundation of Node.js is Node.js event loop. Okay. So what is the event loop? So basically, the Node.js event loop, that is a like basic foundation, but it is a vast topic. So I guess today, like time is not permitting. So what we'll do, we will take this topic tomorrow. Okay, we'll do it in detail. So for today, what we will do, we will do a simple Express app. Okay. So for that, what is required? The first thing is, since we have downloaded Express, so we need to create an instance of Express. Let basically you must be using ES6 in Angular React, right? So in Node Angular 6, sorry, ES6 has become new norm, but not inbuilt. So if you want to impose ES6, then you need to do some changes in package.json that I will tell you guys later. So, as of now, by default, Node is using ES5 only, along with ES6 features. So you can use all the spread operators, operator and all those, but import is something which you cannot use. So you have to use React only. Sorry, require only. Okay. So we'll make it fast. Express. Let. Okay, we are going to create an instance of Express. Okay. So now, so basically, whenever we want to hit a API, so what we do, basically we do a request with some method. So you are calling API, so you must be familiar with methods, right? Get, post. Okay. So what we will do, so for demo purpose, we will just start with the get one. Okay. Get method. So Express provides the method inbuilt. So that is something very nice. Okay. So first parameter to the get request is the route where you want to listen. So basically, whenever you do a get request from front end, so there is some base URL /user/id. So this is the first parameter here. Okay. And second parameter is where you want to redirect that route. Okay. So we can redirect to some file, correct? Some other module. But here we don't have some like that. So we will basically mention here a callback function. Okay, which will handle our route. Okay. The basic thing which any route accepts. Okay. whether it be Express, Restify, or Fastify, is request and response. Okay. And this request and response holds a prototype of functions. Okay, that also we will explore. But since it is our very first lecture, so just focus on demo. Okay, so what we'll do in our response, we have a response.send method, inbuilt method, which is responsible to send data over the network. So simply what we will, so if user tries to hit our API URL, so initially we will just give a welcome message. MovieDB app. Okay. So now we have defined instance of Express.js. We are listening to a get URL, correct? And what is the third thing? The third thing will be listening to some port, correct? So if you recall, while calling API, you provide port as well, right? Colon 3000, colon 3001, yes. Correct? So this app should listen to some port. Then only it will be able to communicate over TCP or an HTTP. Okay. So Express dot. So basically, if you want to listen to some port, Express a simple method called listen. It will simply listen to a port. That's it. That is your basic. There is one more second parameter as well. The second parameter is a callback function. Okay. So if you want to, if you want to inform user that, sorry, forget user. If you want to, like for our understanding, if you want to just put like app is started and all, you can put it here. So log app server listening that for 3000. Okay.
By default,
3000.
no, but by default it will redirect to some code.
No. So basically, the first parameter is port. So any public port you can use 3000, 3001, 6000, 7000.
No.
We need to
Suppose we didn't mention that 3000, then on which port it will start listening.
Okay. So there is no by default port. There is no any provision. You have to mention the port. Okay. So it is not like React or Angular that it will by default in dev environment it will default like 3000. Why it is why? So do you know why in Angular and React it, by default is 3000?
No, in Angular it takes 4266.
Yeah, correct. Why? So if you have checked the package.json in your Angular app,
Yeah.
so there is some bundling tool, right? Webpack. Yeah, correct. So because that configuration is mentioned in Webpack.
Yeah, so by default,
That is why
that
it
is
takes,
mentioning, that all the setup is already mentioning package.json and
Yeah.
it
Correct. So basically in
so we can
package.json,
mention
Webpack.
that here as well, right? This listening ports and all.
Yeah, so this listening port, so for that you need to make use of packaging tool. So usually Webpack is famous. Angular and React inbuilt use that. So if you configure Webpack along with this, then there you can mention that by default port 3000, then it will make use of that port. Okay.
So like suppose in most of the commercial projects, like how the setup is there, we need to create everything from scratch, like the way we are.
No. So this so for you to understand, I was typing in Intel. So if you go to the Express.js framework, yeah, correct. So here in getting started, okay. So here you can see how you can install, okay.
Yeah.
After that, hello world is there. See, no one does in depth of typing and all. Copy paste. So see, you can see same code here. Express require Express. Then they are creating new instance. They are defining the port. Simply get, okay,
Yes.
and app.listen. Okay. So now let's try to hit our port. Okay. So like what other methods does it provide in response and request, that we are going to see later. So how to run our app? Simply node app.js. Okay, I didn't save that. Yeah, node app.js. Okay. So now it is saying that it is listening to port 3000. Okay. Now let us try it in that port. Localhost 3000, right? Okay. So it is giving us message that welcome to MovieDB app.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was just a small glimpse for you, like small demo that like in backend Node.js, what we do when you hit a request. So how we handle it. Okay. So like if you so let's say if you want to handle a post request, if you are calling a post API, so what we will do, we will simply call the post method. Correct. So then you have to add some route to it. Correct. So that will go. So like that routing will happen. So basically this is a very high level overview. So in upcoming sessions we are going to see what is the proper way of routing the request. What are what things we need to keep in mind when we are doing routing. So all that stuff we will do in our upcoming sessions. Okay. So for today, what you guys can do is you can install MySQL. Okay. Or explore the Express.js documentation. Okay. And yeah. And apart from that, you guys can go through this Node.js docs. So like not a compulsion to go through each and every link. The whatever link you find familiar, so like you can see debugger is here. Okay. Then apart from that, console log, console is here. So these things you can explore. Okay.
Yes.
And tomorrow, what we will do, we will start with event loop. Okay. And then we will explore other aspects of Node. Okay. Thank you so much.